Hello everybody, welcome to Illustrator Jones, once again. I got such a creaky chair, I gotta do something about this, it's ridiculous. Anyway, how are we all? Hope you're having a lovely week. Now here's the scribble. I had no idea where I was going with this at first. I really didn't. I was going to do some sort of tentacled monster, but don't know, I kind of had a vision. Well, it wasn't a vision, it was more of a I remembered something from my childhood. A movie, it's, called The Thing. Yeah, and I don't mean the original black and white one. The John Carpenter movie. And I drew this little character sticking out of there, and I thought, oh no, I've got to draw the thingy. Yeah, so that's not immediately, but that, and then you can tell kind of because there's a dog in it now, you see. Do you remember that bit with the dog? Do you remember the end scene in the movie when everything's dead quiet and everybody's been basically absorbed, I can't remember what how you say it now, into the creature, and all that's left is McCreary, played by Kurt Russell. Yeah, I saw that when I was a kid. See, I went to stay with me nan and granddad, and me nan loved this kind of stuff. Mad woman. Anyway, she let me stay up and watch this. Oh, yeah, we'll watch this together, I had no idea what I was watching. I hadn't got a clue. He goes, I must have been about, I don't know. Must have been about 13, possibly. Yeah, it could have been. Anyway, there's a dog in it, isn't there? There's a kind of at the beginning. So yeah, I was struggling with the drawing here. I drew my character in first. I drew my own version of McCreary, which is Seamus Gumshoe, obviously. But yeah, anyway, I went to see this movie. I saw this movie on the telly. Oh, you're only looking at it like at about an 18-inch telly, It was minute back then. But oh my goodness, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was unbelievable. I think back then some of it was edited, I'm not sure, but yeah, I couldn't believe what I was watching. And of course, you watch it late at night, you gotta go to bed, haven't you? Nan's going, this had better not have scared you. If this has scared you, I'm not letting you watch anything like this again, because my dad would never have let me watch it. But I think, yeah, and my nan's kind of thinking, I'm going to get into trouble with his dad if he is, that I've, let him watch something and he's scared. Well, he was scared, but he wasn't going to admit it. So, sheepishly, he went to bed. This is me now. I went to bed. And they had, I went to bed. Anyway, and I was scared. I was sitting in bed, covers wrapped around my neck. Thinking of The Thing, which is not, it's not a good film to go to bed on, is it, really? Anyway, I must have nodded off, finally. And the next thing I know, jumping on the bed is me nan's white poodle. Well, I tell you, I've nearly brought the house down. This Sasha, this stupid dog, jumps on the bed and attacks me face. Not attacks, but is saying hello. And he's got in, Oh my, well of course I just saw this dog. And I just seen this horrible thing with this dog, in this movie. Well, I nearly had a duck egg. I really did. Absolutely frightened the daylights out of me. And of course I couldn't go running into me nan going, no, I'm scared, the dog's just frightened me. Because she'd have got cross. You see, and she'd have gone, I shouldn't have let you watch that, And she wouldn't have let me watch anything like that again if I stayed again, so I had to keep stum. It scared the living daylights out of a stupid dog. Yeah, so that was the time I saw this movie. The Thing. So I was doing this drawing and it turned into The Thingy, my version of it. I hope it's not too scary. It gets quite scary later on. But oh dear, yeah, it did frighten me. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. How on earth that film... It came out, didn't it? I think, was it at the same time as E.T. or something? You know, and E.T. was great, but The Thing was on another level. Of course, it's now an absolute... It's, you know, known as an absolute classic horror movie. To be honest, I think it's the best horror movie I've ever seen. Not that I go around admitting that to anybody. Because didn't they do a new one? Yeah, they've done a new one, haven't they? And I don't want... They kind of ruin everything if... do everything with CGI, don't they now? It's like, oh no. But back then it was all practical effects. Everything was practical. And some wonderful model making in that. In the original. And one of the best opening, you know, for the logo of the movie, The Thing, as that opens up in front of planet Earth, one of the best ones that's ever been done. And that was a practical effect as well. So yeah, I'm doing my own version now. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, what can I put in this? So I put in a dude, a dog. Oh! There's a big bit where there's huge hands come up, don't they? And they grab the ceiling and it pulls itself out of the kennels. That's what that big hand is, you know. You can do anything with this kind of creature because it's nothing specific, is it, at all? It's grotesque and horrible. So I had a lot of fun drawing this. A lot of fun. Yeah. So I got my old Seamus dressed up as McCreary, roughly, and he's pegging it. Well, wouldn't you? Yeah. Oh, by the way, of course I've finished all this, and you can buy a poster of this if you want to on Fourth Wall. I will put that up for you so that you can know where to, if you want to, that is. You don't have to, but yeah, on Fourth Wall you can buy a poster, a framed one or just a sheet of this finished one, and in black and white and in full colour, and on t-shirts if you want to. I thought it made a really cool t-shirt, to be honest. I thought it was great. My daughter, she thought it made a smashing t-shirt. But yeah, just do me a favour, don't tell anybody I've seen the movie when I was little, when I was a kid. Get me nan into trouble. Although me nan's not around anymore, but me dad finds out, he won't be happy. He won't be happy at all. How did you let him watch that at that age? But yeah, it's a very, very scary film. Very claustrophobic and just absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so doing all the pencil now. Now, as I go through this, you will notice that the drawing becomes very... Oh, did you see that? Underpants. I had to put some underpants in there. But yeah, the drawing becomes very busy and sketchy, you know. There's lots of lines crossing over each other all over the place. So it's difficult to try and keep track of where you're going because, you know, you're making lots and lots of marks. You're creating basically nonsense, isn't it? It's, you know, it's a mix-up of all sorts of different things. So you can lose your way quite easily. Now, a little bit of news. I've recorded all this once, from this section onwards, and I blinking didn't record. I don't know why it didn't record. Sometimes this Filmora does this. I don't know why. Anyway, so yeah, adding all the details now. So I'm picking out each tentacle And I've drawn quite a few and trying to work out which one goes where, when it goes behind another tentacle, that kind of thing. You know. So yeah, it's a busy drawing. It really is busy drawing. Anyway, so I have nice people that have subscribed to the channel. I did have 84 subscribers. And I thought, oh, well, that's nice, 84, you know, that's fantastic for me. And then it went back down to 83. You can't help thinking, what was it? What went wrong? It's hard not to take that personally. But I was watching yesterday, Kieran Siemens, he's another YouTuber that does fantastic ink work. And he was on there yesterday, he did a video, I've forgotten where it was now. And he was saying he had 18,000 views of all his videos he's done. And he says only 25% subscribed. I was like, no, only 25%? He says, please subscribe, because it does help us, you know. Although I found out recently that you don't make a lot, you don't make any money really. I don't know. I don't know whether that's true or not. So I started thinking, oh, is it worth doing? You know, but I do enjoy it so much, and I do like hearing from you guys over the pond. You know, that you enjoy the drawings, and you know, and it helps some people as well. With, you know, some of you are not well, I know, and you know, you're having a hard time, and you know, these give you a bit of escapism. This nonsense. Why you would choose these videos above anybody else's, I've no idea, because there are a lot more better artists than me. Oh dear, I barely call myself an artist really. But anyway, yeah, if it cheers you up, great. It really is great. So yeah, putting all the ink on now, all the detailed ink. I had to stick those underpants in, I'm sorry. I had to stick somebody in with underpants. All my aliens come out, you know, come ready-made with underpants. Yeah. Oh, it's very, very good. But now, thank you ever so much for all your support, guys. Very kind of you. It may pick up in years to come. Oh dear. I tell you what's difficult is coming up with all these different creatures coming out of one creature. You know, it's hard to think, and you're thinking on your feet when you're drawing like this. But all you do is sketch. Just keep on sketching until something comes out. But yeah, it was a ton of work doing this one. Absolutely, it was a couple of hours. It really was. But I did enjoy it. I didn't notice the hours go by, I've got to admit. I enjoyed myself far too much. I hope this is recording this time. I might stop it just here and find out if it has, because I don't trust it anymore. So give us a second. And yes, it did. So I'm hoping it's going to carry on recording. There you go. Happy now. Well, hopefully, till I get to the end of the video. But, yeah, so I'm drawing Seamus Gumshoe, who is meant to be McCreary, which is Kurt Russell's dude. And, because he wears a hat in that film, doesn't he? Now then, I know I'm going to hit a problem in a minute. I know that I need Seamus Gumshoe, the character, to stand off that really, really busy drawing behind, so that you can see him instantly, and you don't have to kind of, oh, is that? He doesn't. You don't want him to blend into the background, because if you look at it now in black and white, he does blend a little bit. So I'll show you what I do now. Because years ago, I would have cross-hatched everything, and then ended up with a soup. Basically, you can't tell what's what, and he would have blended into the background. So I'm adding little bits of detail now, and rubbing out the pencil. Rubbing out the pencil. Got to rub out your pencil. Right, bit more detail, bit more rubbing. Yeah. There you go. My pencil's like an arrowhead at the moment now. So adding all the cross hatching now, but this is what I figured out, is put only the cross hatching on the monster and no cross hatching whatsoever on Seamus Gumshoe. And then I go and put a bit of cross hatching on his hat. Oh dear me, I don't know. What am I like? Yeah. So I confess, later on when I scan this into the computer in Photoshop, I take out that bit of cross hatching on his hat and just cross hatch the background, not the character in the foreground. And you know, and he does pop off the page then. Little underpants, little hairy underpants. He's got a hairy belly. Look at this, he's got a hairy belly button. What do you call that in America? Belly buttons? Do you call them belly buttons? Or do you call them navels? Or tummy buttons? I don't know. We call them belly buttons here. Well, my family call them belly buttons. Yeah. So that was the plan. It's really odd. Even after doing this for 23 years, 23 years, I'm still working things out. I'm still, you know, learning with trial and error. You know, it's just don't say to yourself, I can't draw, you know, and then don't bother having a go. This is a way of, you know, you can make a really cool monster out of a big scribble, and it'll look great in the end. And hopefully these little things that I've learned, little tips and things, will creaky chair, will help you too, you know, or be of use to somebody. Or you may think, oh Chris, you idiot, what do you think you're doing? Stop pretending that you can draw. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So you see, when I put the dark in the mouth in the monster around Seamus, he kind of stood out a little bit more. So as I'm doing this, I've figured this out now, and I think, okay, alright, that tongue will be darker. That'll pop his face off a little bit more. I'll make that stand out a little bit more. I added more cross-hatching, so there's like, you go one way, then you go another way, and that's why it's called cross-hatching. You're crossing over lines. The more you cross over, the darker it'll get. Which is really weird. So yeah, but if you notice, the hat is disappearing into his tongue. Can you see that? So I have to fix that on the computer later, which I do. Well, now I know that I actually do it, but I don't film it. Like an idiot. Jortle Billick. Yeah. So. Hi, his little hairy legs. Lots of detail in this one. Lots and lots of detail. I know some of you don't like too much detail, but I don't know. Can't please everybody. But yeah, it's all coming together now. So I watched a film with me boy Harry called The Boogeyman, which is strange really, because over here in the UK we call it the Bogeyman. I always thought it was something to do with snobs out your nose, but no. In America it's called the Boogeyman. That was a scary film. It was a monster film, just you know. It was alright. Quite scary. But then again, it doesn't take much to scare me, to be honest. I get scared watching some of the kids' films. Here we go. Look, I'm tidying up the hat, and I do actually clean up those 2 black patches. I make them white again, which you don't see now. I clean up his face and, you know, put a little bit more on top of the hat because the hat was too short. I tidied up his gob. Yeah, just cleaned him up a little bit. There you go. And cleaned up my text. Because my text was a bit mucky. It was a bit mucky. Mucky text. Because everything's freehand. I very rarely use fonts. I quite like drawing them myself, to be honest. I have got my own fonts, sort of my own handwriting, which I use now and again. They're not very good though. Yeah. The printout now, if you notice his hat, you see those little black patches gone? So what I'll do is I'll make those darker with just a darker colour. So adding all the skin, the flesh tones now. Because I need the flesh tones to stand out from the skin of the monster. I don't want to use a pinky colour for the flesh tones, which I don't normally do anyway. I always use that colour. But I want the his flesh tone, or to be different from the flesh tones of the creature, the thingy. Yeah, so I'm just using these pinks. Some muted, some quite bright, but they're totally different from anything I'll put on Seamus, so that Seamus stands out. You know, the flesh tones are similar on the creature. You know, the hand bit there, and the body, and the fella's face. But they're far away enough from Seamus not to be confusing. But plus I wanted them to look like they were once human, but no longer. Yeah. What did I write in? I put a message out the other day about this coming up on Sunday. I forgot what I said now. An alien organism that can't decide what it wants to be. An indecisive alien. That's what it is. Oh, I don't know. What shall I be? Oh, I don't know. Shall I be human? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, indecisive aliens. Nothing worse than an indecisive alien. Thinking of aliens, where's that horrible little tyke? Furt.
Alien! Call that an alien! That's not an alien! That's rubbish! That's what that is! It's absolute garbage! You can't call that an alien! Honestly, the thing. When you come from Fletula, that's a proper alien, like me. That's not an alien, right? So there, sniff this, baby!
I knew it! I knew it! You just couldn't keep your nose out of it, could you, Furt? You smelly little urchin. Interrupting our videos. How could you? Sexy little alien. Anyway, back to the grotesque monster. Yeah. So making sure I'm using it's quite a limited amount of colours. A limited palette, as the professionals would say. Yeah. So it's a limited amount of colours. They're all pinks, but they're kind of all in the same kind of hint of purple in them. Pinks and reds, so that Seamus can stand out when he's coloured in his little colours. So I'm adding purple now. I was going to use the blue, as I normally do. And then I thought I wanted to put purple in anyway to make it look a bit... I don't know why. I think purple would have fits quite well. So I used it as the shadow on the creature. An unearthly shadow. Yeah, so I did. That's what I did. Used the purple, or whatever you call it. It's quite a light purple. Yeah, used it as a shadow. So I've coloured these pants in blue. Coloured the eyes yellowy, like a greeny yellow colour. I was quite happy with my logo at the top, the text. And then I have to put in that changes later, that shadow. I used blue there. So adding some green now to it, darker green. The green really helped that red mouth behind Seamus. It kind of like a secondary shadow kind of thing. There you go. It kind of did something to that red. It made it look a little less harsh. So colouring him in his normal colours. You see, you don't see those anywhere else on the creature. It's just so that they stand apart. Oh, you know, little bits of yellow. I gave him a scarf because it's meant to be in the, you know, in the snow, isn't it? And gave him a little scarf and the yellow. Wait for it, everybody. Not yet. Oh, I'm giving him some blue shade again, so he doesn't blend into the background. As one of the characters that's been turned, and I've yellow stains on his pants. Well, to be honest, wouldn't you have a wee stain on your pants if you'd been attacked by that creature? Anyway, yeah. So, Posca time. So I bought a Posca pen, as normal. I'm going to use that. I'm going to compare it to a Chinese pen from Temu. See if they're any better. Or if, you know, they're any good at all. They might be an absolute load of rubbish, I don't know yet. So, use a bit of Posca, which works really well. The difference being is the ones from Temu, as long as you buy £5 worth of stuff, you get free postage all the way from China. Isn't that crazy? So, we're going to, yeah, this is the Temu pen now. It's alright, you know. The pen, the nib is a little bit spongy. A little bit soft, and it's not quite as precise as the other ones, as the but the white seems to be okay. It seems to be alright. But you know, for the less, I think they're just over £1 each, so you know, you could buy, kids, if you've got a bit of money, you could go buy some on Temu. They work alright. I don't know how long they last for yet, so wait and see. But yeah, adding all the highlights now with the pen from Temu. Working alright. It's alright. It's not too bad. It does the job. You know. And for less than £2, you can't go wrong, can you? Just depends on how long it lasts for. So I just wanted to look slimy and shiny. Oh, that was another one. And that's the final results. Thank you ever so much for watching, everybody. Please subscribe and please leave a like and a comment. And I will see you next time. Bye!
Bye everybody, come again when you've got less time. Hope you enjoyed the video. I didn't, but it was rubbish. Anyway, thanks for watching.